Hey guys, this is Paul with VHScollector.com, and today I thought I'd do something different and do a tutorial video on how to remove video store stickers from your VHS or Betamax tapes, right? So if you've been collecting for a while, you probably or most likely have X rentals in your collection. Especially if you have a lot of rare titles, it's almost impossible not to have X rentals. So I know that there is at least one or two services that I'm aware of out there that will remove these stickers for you for like 30 bucks or 20 bucks or whatever it is, which is kind of crazy because it's quite easy to remove these stickers. And on this particular copy, I have three, as you can see, two on the front, one on the spine. And what's funny is that they all have the same inventory number. Like, why is this number on the front twice? It just seems so bizarre to me. I understand the spine, I guess, in case it's like sitting on a shelf, but yeah, that's just kind of crazy. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna try to remove these, or we are going to remove them. I've been doing this for a while, and I have a method that is pretty easy. And so, as you can see, I have this videotape in this protective box first and foremost. This is a really heavy-duty protective box. They clearly don't make these things anymore. These were made for video stores, and I was fortunate enough to buy a whole bunch of them brand new back in the day, and got them pretty cheap. A lot of these supply stores were liquidating a lot of their video store product because, of course, video stores were going out of business. And as you see, this is a rare tape. This is Cult Video's Snuff, and so I wanted to, you know, up the ante a little bit and remove stickers from a rare video. This video could sell for, I guess, maybe $200 or $300. I don't know exactly, but that just seems to be about the price range for something like this. And so let's crack this open. Now, in the future, I will make a video on all the different protective boxes that exist out there for VHSs. So stay tuned for that. There are a lot of them. Most of them, or almost all of them, are just not even available anymore, but we'll talk about that later. So as you can see, we have, again, 1, 2, 3 stickers on the outside of the sleeve. We're going to use several things. We're going to use a plastic scraper. Now, this scraper has a plastic razor blade on it. Now, some people might use an actual metal razor blade, but that would be way too sharp. I mean, you're actually using this to peel off stickers from cardboard. Do you really want to use a metal razor blade? Probably not. I saw a few tutorial videos on how to remove stickers from books. I also do a little bit of paper and book restoration, and I just thought it was funny that people in those videos suggest a metal razor. You don't need to use a metal razor. This will be great. This is still quite sharp, believe it or not. I mean, you won't cut yourself, but it's sharp enough to do what we needed to do. So this is a nifty little thing, and you can replace these blades pretty easily. We will also be using, of course, a heat gun. So this is our secret weapon right here. This is a large, big heat gun. If I were to buy a heat gun again, it would not look like this. I guess this is something you would find at Home Depot or something, but this is what I already had in my garage, so I'm not going to go out and buy another one. But if you go on Amazon, they got some really nice heat guns that are much smaller, more compact, and all that, so this will do. So the heat gun is useful. It's gonna help us loosen up the adhesive under these stickers. And also what we'll be using is a combination between rubbing alcohol and Goo Gone. So we're probably going to use the alcohol for this one, but you gotta be very careful with the alcohol because on some covers, particularly sleeves inside clamshells, the alcohol could actually eat away at the inks and kind of smudge the ink, and so you might not want to you want to be careful when using the alcohol, right? So you can kind of get a sense of what covers you can use the alcohol on and which are probably not ideal. It's usually like the really thinner ones that don't have this gloss finish on it. So those types, do not mess around with the alcohol. It will eat away at your cover, certainly. So let's get down to it. We're going to remove this sticker, and this sticker, of course. Let's remove the cassette. Right, We'll remove the cassette for now. And so we just have the box. So we're going to take the heat gun and we'll start with the one on the side. Now you don't want to heat it too long. You just want to heat it enough to loosen up the adhesive underneath the sticker. You do not obviously want to burn the box. Alright, so we loosened up that sticker. Now let's try to scoop it off. Look how easily that's coming up. Now this sticker has been on here for like 30 years. Look at that. It's coming up very nicely, right? And we only have a little bit of adhesive left on there. See, it's still a little sticky, so we'll take care of that in a bit. Now we're going to remove these two labels. Don't do it too long, guys. You don't want to ruin your box. Again, like I said, this is pretty rare tape, so you don't want to get up in there. You don't want to burn it. Just use your judgment. You don't have to get it super hot. So let's... It's still a little tough, so we're going to loosen it up some more. There we go. It's coming off nicely. So this sticker's on here pretty good. And there we go. It's off. That sticker had been on there for 30 plus years. Now we finally removed it. Now we have this one, which is kind of redundant. It had the same information, except it says horror on the top, just in case it wasn't obvious already that this is a horror movie. So let's hit this with the heat gun. You always want to try to get it on low heat, because you don't want to overdo it. As you can see from the corner of the two stickers on the front, someone had attempted to remove them previously, probably me a long time ago. I had no success, but with the heat gun and the scraper, we'll get that right off. Ooh, that's pretty hot. I think I went a little too long on that one, but fortunately I did not burn the box. Alright. This one's on there pretty good too. It's amazing that there's still adhesive at, like, after all these years, it still has its adhesiveness. You know, it hasn't dried up, I mean, I guess I'm trying to say. Alright, this one's on there really good. So we're gonna have to hit this again. Gosh, that's hot. All right. So hopefully it didn't pull up any of the cover on there. I hope that we could just clean that off. But that's inevitable. Sometimes when you pull these up, even with the heat gun, it might lift off some of the cover. Unfortunately, there's really no way around that. It's just something that happens, but the point is that it still might look better than having the big ugly sticker on there, even if it does pull up a little bit. What we're gonna do now is use some rubbing alcohol. So here I have a paper towel. Get some rubbing alcohol. I want to use very little of this. Now again, like I said, you want to be careful using the rubbing alcohol. You can't use it on everything. But this one, I'm pretty sure we can get away with it, so. Look at that, beautiful. Didn't lift anything up. It was just some dust from those labels stuck on the adhesive. Beautiful. Let's take this. It's a good idea to always look at what your paper towel looks like to see if any ink is coming up, just in case. As I suspected, none is coming up with this, so that's good, obviously. If you can't get it all off, don't wreck your box trying to get every little piece of adhesive off. I mean, you can if you want to, and you might get it all off without damaging the box, but for me, I don't like to push my luck. But it looks like you got most of it off, just about all of it. So look how beautiful that looks compared to what we had before. We still got the spine. Lots of adhesive on there still. And sometimes I find that the rubbing alcohol works a lot better than the Goo Gone. Still a bunch, enough on there to bother me, so I'm going to get a little bit more of this rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol dries really quickly. Alright, you want to make sure that it absorbs into the towel because you don't want it to splash up, because it can get on your tape label, on the actual cassette label, and stain it, or you just want to be careful. Instead of a paper towel, you could probably use a toothbrush as well. That might actually be better. Take your time doing this. Like, I could sit here for a while and keep doing this, and it'll eventually all come off. So don't be too aggressive with it. You don't want to destroy your box, because remember, this is paper. It does have this protective film on the outside, but it's hard to say how long that'll last. I'm actually surprised it's taking as long as it is to take this off, but it's coming. It's coming. It's almost gone, guys. Almost all gone. Come on. Need to move on. Alright, that's good enough, I guess. So, there it is, guys. We took 3 stickers off. We did not cause any damage to the case. These are stickers that were on there for 30 years. And it looks pretty good, right? So, there might be a little bit of residue. I almost got 95% of it off here. It's pretty good. I just wanted to move on with this. What you can also do is use the alcohol to just kind of wash it or clean it. Not exactly wash, but you know, just wash it a bit. So let's see if it pulls up any dirt. See, it's picking up, it's actually getting dirty. The towel, which shows how dirty these things are. Can't really see it just by looking at the box, but it's there. Now what you can actually do to make this box look really nice is use beeswax. We'll make it really shine and look gorgeous, but I don't need all that. Well, that's what some people do. They'll do that with paperback books, and when they're restoring an old paperback, they'll actually polish it up with beeswax. But that's not what we're doing today. Look at that dirt. 30 years worth of grime that sat on this. I mean, most of that time, this video was actually in a protective box. The original video store I got this from kept it in a protective box, but you know, it still picks up dirt. So yeah, if I had more time, I'd, you know, get a little bit more of it cleaned up, but as you can see, here's that dirt. Alright, so this came out pretty good. Alright, so these flaps always get bent, right, when people shove the tape back in when there's a protective box. And so it'll push this flap the wrong direction and it will crease it in the wrong direction. So hopefully we could fix that like that. So there it is, guys. No stickers. Alright, so let's talk about this, the cassette itself, right? I have mixed feelings about removing video store stickers from cassettes. Let's talk about it for a minute. Well, first let's look at this cassette. This label's about to fall off. It's terrible. It has the original price tag on there, which is cool, but this is about to fall off. As you can see, the spine label has already fallen off, but it still has some remnants on it, which is good. Yeah, obviously, we're not going to do anything with this. We could, you know, possibly re-glue it or something, but I'm not really interested in these labels, or these stickers. We're talking about the video store sticker. Right, so this actually has two. Now this is how I feel about the video store stickers. These stickers from the video store with the video store's name on it are the provenance of this video cassette. I personally would not remove the video store sticker from my video cassette. So if you're a collector and you trade a lot, anyone who wants to buy your cassette, they should know its provenance, where it came from. Was it an ex-rental or not? So removing these stickers are like removing its history and its identity. Right, so personally I'm against removing video store stickers, and besides, I mean, it's kind of cool. Some of them have cool logos, and it's just the inherent history of the videotape. Like, why would you take that from the tape? So I just would not remove it. Just think of it in the world of fine art collecting. If there's some label on the back of the canvas that had information about the auction or the gallery it was in, they don't just peel that off and throw it away. They preserve that information because of its provenance. It's important. It's like the paperwork. So you might be thinking, oh, well, Paul, these are just VHS tapes. These are just video cassettes. Well, I don't care. I mean, I don't think of one collectible any better than another, right? So obviously a work of art has more historical value, but, you know, I think all collectibles should, you know, we should protect their identity and their history. So anyway, this actually has two video store stickers on there. So we're going to actually remove one. So as you can see on this, this is actually one of the 112 videotapes. So it has two labels on there. It has this white one on top, but it has the security one underneath. As you can see that one clearly on here. If you look under this label, it looks like there's another label from another video store under there. Very interesting. I wonder if we could actually, nah, I don't want to destroy it. If I'm going to take any of these labels off as a demonstration, I'm going to take this one off. But it does look like it belonged to another video store at one point. In fact, let's try to peel this up. Let's see what's under there. So, is it a 112 video sticker? No, see, this is from another video store. So somehow 112 Video acquired this from another video store. And so if there was a request for a movie at 112 Video, or really any video store, they would buy that movie off the internet. If the internet was around yet. We're gonna warm this up. You gotta be very, let me turn this off for a second. You have to be very careful about using the heat gun on the actual cassette. You don't want to melt the plastic. You definitely do not want to melt the tape inside. It's very fragile. I feel kind of silly even suggesting using a heat gun on the tape itself because of the damage it could do, but you gotta make a judgment call. I've done this lots of times without damaging the cassette or the tape inside, so I feel pretty good about using it. Just be very careful and don't overdo it. Look at that, it started to peel up. Alright, let's see what's under here. See how easily that just peels up now with the heat? So there it is. Try our video. Patchogue Sunrise Highway. This is very interesting. So I wonder if the owner of the TriStar video store actually also owned 112 Video at one point, because these video stores are very, very close together. It was almost like maybe a competitive video store and they just bought out their inventory or something. So yeah, that is incredible. God, now I don't want to remove this label. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of torn because I wanted to demonstrate to you guys removing this. Anyway, this is now sticky because we peeled off the paper 112 video label, so we're actually going to try to clean that off a little bit and use rubbing alcohol, of course. Look at that. So it's actually peeling up the ink from the label. Well, that kind of sucks because I wanted to save that label. So, as you can see, you can't always use alcohol for everything. Alright, well, try our video. I'm just going to go ahead and lift it up, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes. At least we have a record of that label. Now these labels are very difficult to get off. They're usually security labels that will say void underneath them. Sometimes you can get them up without showing the void. As you can see, I got up most of it. Alright, so we got most of it off. So I'm going to just try to scrape what I can off of here. And that's what we're not really trying to get it off with the scraper just yet. We're just trying to loosen it up. When you hold this tape, try not to touch the label or hold it by the label on the side. You don't want to really put too much wear on those, especially on this cassette. They're clearly falling off. This tape has had a lot of history. It's been in multiple video stores. It's been around for 30 years. Alright, so that's what we got right now. That doesn't look too pretty, but you know what? We loosened it up a lot because now we're going to hit it with the alcohol again. Now, if you're very cautious, you can also take these shells off, take it apart by the screws, but I don't think that's necessary. So this is the alcohol. The Goo Gone might actually work better in this situation. That's actually what I should have used, was the Goo Gone, but it is working. It is pulling up a little bit. But actually, yeah, let's keep going with this. See how much we can get off. Look at that. Got most of it off. Let's use the Goo Gone now. You don't want to spray the Goo Gone directly. You don't want to spray the Goo Gone directly onto the cassette, right? So you want to do it right into a rag. I hate using Goo Gone because it's so goddamn greasy, but let it soak into the rag so it doesn't splash around, especially in this case because you don't want this to splash on the label. You want to be very careful. Alright. I'm going to get a new rag just to wipe it clean. Look at that, guys. It's all gone. It's all gone. Didn't have to pay anything for that. Well, except for the supplies, of course. There you go. This video cassette is now clean, at least on this side. I mean, obviously, as you can see, we can take this off and you can see the other video store sticker is under there, the try our video or whatever, so if I wanted to I really could peel that up. But anyway, yeah, that's it. One day maybe we'll try to clean this up. This sticker's probably holding this label down, so let's not peel this one off. Alright, let's put this back in the box now. Ah, look at that. Security sticker. Alright, so let's peel this off. These are pretty easy to come off. That one's digging in pretty good. So these things always freaking bother me so much. Alright, so we got this off. As you can see, it did peel up a bit on the inside. That's okay. It's better than having this on there. I hate these freaking things. And I always find them hidden in different places of video boxes all the time. So let's close this back up. So we put it in from the top, just so we can get this flap in there just right. And there it is, guys. Snuff. So what we did, removed 3 stickers from the outside and 1 or 2 stickers from the inside, depending on how you look at it, but it's all clean. Pretty good. Let's put this back in the protective box. And here it will sit for the rest of eternity, unless I play it for some reason. But there it is, guys. Look how great it looks. Those stickers always bothered me. I'm glad I got them off. And they came off so easily. There it is, snuff. Now we're gonna do another one. Let's do this. Bay of Blood. Here's another tape that probably goes for, I don't know, 200 bucks or something. I don't know. So this is a clamshell. Obviously, as you can see, the cover has warped over time. Unfortunately, with a lot of clamshells, they get this warp on them over time. I think it's actually like shrinking with age. I'm not really exactly sure, but that's what it looks like. And so we are actually going to open this up. And there's the tape. It has a gorgeous Gorgon video label. Metallic label, I should say. So the cassette is in pretty good condition. Not one of those stupid security labels, but yeah, tape is in really good condition. So what are we gonna do about this? So let's look at the spine here. We got a couple situations here. So we have the original sleeve underneath this plastic has its own sticker. So let's pull it out. Be very gentle with it. I absolutely love this artwork. I spent so long trying to find this video for a reasonable price, and I was lucky enough to eventually get my hands on it. Right, and so here we got the clamshell and the sleeve. The sleeve has this sticker, so this is again a video store inventory sticker that needs to come off. All these creases are unfortunate, but you know, it's got great color. So on the clamshell itself, we got a few things going on here. Look at this hot mess. This looks disgusting. We need to clean this. So what someone did is put a Dewey Decimal inventory sticker on here, and they used packing tape over it to keep it on there. And they put this blue dot sticker on there. Not really sure. I don't remember what that means. That does have a meaning. I forgot. I'll have to research that again. But anyway, we want to get all this gook off, right? We want to get this big piece of tape off. That's kind of important. So let me see how it is by hand. It's not going to work too good. I'm trying to peel this off by hand. And here's just the difficult thing. Again, we have to make a difficult judgment call. Do we really want to hit this with the heat gun? The heat gun could destroy this. It really could just melt the hell out of it, so I'm really not too keen on using the heat gun to try to get this off. Let's try the scraper and see what this could do for us. The thing with these clamshells, unfortunately, is that they become so brittle over time. Like, I have very few clamshells that are completely intact without any cracks in it. There are some, but there's not many. I do not... How are we going to get this off? I've gotten these off before just by trying to peel it up. It's hard to do that. Is there still tape under there? It looks like the tape might have came off already, and that's just the residue left behind. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to clean this off with alcohol and see what happens. The sleeve is out, so the sleeve is safe while we rub this down with alcohol. Let's try some Goo Gone with this. See how the Goo Gone works. So it looks like the tape was already peeled up, and all that was left behind is just the residue. And that's a good thing. That explains why I couldn't get tape up, because there isn't any. It was just a big glob of residue. Of adhesive, old adhesive with dirt stuck to it. You want to be sure not to get any of this Goo Gone underneath the sleeve, because that would be really bad. Right? So just trying to get this up. There we go. That came up pretty easily. As you can see, there is a security label on the case, which is actually a good thing, because typically they would put these security stickers on the actual sleeve itself, which ruins the sleeve. But in this case, they put it on the clamshell itself, so it shouldn't be too hard to peel this guy off. And it's better to peel it off than to leave it on, because it leaves an impression on the actual sleeve. So always take these things off. They're no good. So when this thing is pressed and on a shelf with other tapes, it leaves this impression on the paper sleeve itself, and that pops through. So you want to make sure you get that off. So it looks like we got most of this off. Looks much better, right? So, well, you'll notice it more once we put the sleeve back in. Let's, hit it with this alcohol rag. So now I'm using alcohol to get the rest of this up. Again, don't kill yourself if you don't get all of it up. You just want to get most of it up. I mean, if you want to really work it and get it all off, you can. I'm OCD, and not even I want to risk ruining this box even more by trying to get every little chunk of adhesive off. You want to get most of it off. Alright, so I think we did a decent enough job on this. The best that I could do, alright? Within a reasonable amount of time anyway. So, wiped my hands, and now what we're going to do is we want to take this off now, this sticker. Put it right on the sleeve. Why? I don't understand. Why would they put it on the sleeve? Just put it on the outside of the box. We're going to hit this with the heat gun. There you go, that simple. You can see the original color under there. No real adhesive stuck on there, so we don't have to worry about that. Another security sticker. These people are crazy. Alright. And there's another one right there. They're everywhere. And there it is. Alright, so now we're going to actually put this in a protective box. A plastic box. Now this is important because this might not be a good example, this particular VHS clamshell, but sometimes the artwork will protrude above the protective film and you'd see damage all along the top of the sleeve, which looks terrible. This one covers the whole thing, thank goodness, and that's why you don't really see a lot of damage, maybe a little bit here, but this all looks pretty clean. So anyway, we are still going to put this in a protective box, and so I bought these things from eBay. I'm going to do a whole video on protective boxes in the future. So stay tuned for that. So I'm taking the film off of this. Now we're going to fold out the box. Now, these clamshells fit in there pretty nicely. This size of the box from the eBay seller I bought this from, he has two sizes for clamshells. One is for the smaller clamshells and one is for bigger clamshells. And it's a good general size, average size, because all clamshells are different. I mean, what I mean to say is that there are just so many companies that made clamshells that, you know, they all vary in size a little bit. But the smaller size that he makes does not fit the white hard clamshells like the Thorny MI clamshells. They don't fit those. They fit like the Anchor Bay type clamshells from back in the day. So they're not very useful to me anyway, because I don't have any of those. There it is, guys. Look how gorgeous that looks. It's all cleaned up here. No gook or stickers. It's all cleaned up as best as it can be. So there we got that. So there it is, guys. We just cleaned up two videos. One of them we actually took some stickers off of the actual tape, so I showed you how that can be done. These are both rare tapes, so this is a method that I go by, and if I'm willing to do them on these, you know, somewhat rare tapes, then I promise you that it's a good method. So be very careful with the heat gun on the cassette itself. As I said before, you can damage the cassette, or even worse, the tape inside. You gotta be very careful and just use your judgment. Alright guys, so if you have any more questions about, you know, maintenance on your VHS tapes, you can always feel free to ask. Perhaps I'll make a video on it. Look how clean those look now. That's great. Alright guys, so that is how you remove stickers from your VHS tapes or Betamax tapes. This has been Paul with VHScollector.com, your analog archivist, and stay tuned for more. Thanks again, guys.